actually, this is data for 2012. As for 2013, I think it's more because because now well, I couldn't find this information in English, but in Russian there was a number of like 60, 62, like a 63. And yeah, there's also 9.8 hours a day, no, per month, but actually the exact data is 16 hours per month that average Russian users spend in social networks. So it includes watching videos, chatting, communicating, typing something. What's that? This is the audience. Russian users, how many of them check their favorite social network every month. So for Contact, it has like a 23.4 million users every month. And it's active users who at least one times a day go to Contact, check their status, or leave a message or something like that. It's interesting that Facebook and LiveJournal do the same. Well, Одноклассники, they have also rather large active user community, and it has been growing. As for other social networks like Twitter or LinkedIn, not yet. But frankly speaking, LinkedIn is rather interesting social network because, well, have you ever checked LinkedIn? It's for professionals. So if you're looking for a job in the United States or in Europe, you go to LinkedIn. It's completely in English, but it's interesting. And now many managers who want to work in international companies or who apply for jobs in Europe or in the United States, they use LinkedIn. But it's not so popular in Russia. We have the Russian copy of that. It's called profile. It's not that way. It's like the same author accounts. It's also that. Well, this data, how possibly social network will be growing this year and the year 2014. So as you see, almost 50% of internet users will use at least one social network in Russia. But if we compare with the same statistic, the same data for Europe and the United States, there is no any growth. So it stopped. Because 98% or even 99% of residents who live in Europe or who live in the United States, they already are social network users. There's also one statistic data, but if we compare it for the year 2010 and 2012, we see how our original social networks is contacting the classic growing. And it's also like how many people visit them every month. As for Google, by the way, you know, there's a social network provided by Google Plus. Unfortunately for Google, it doesn't populate in Russian completely. Well, it has like 1 million users in Russia. Well, I personally use Google Plus just to read news. So I'm not an active user, but I have an account there. And according to Google, they say they do not consider Google Plus as a successful project and probably cancel it. For some time, I don't know why, but nevertheless, they want to cancel it. As for the audience, as for Facebook, as I told you before, the average person who has an account on Facebook is on age 25 or 34. As for Contactia, it's the same. So it's interesting that nevertheless, Facebook is not so popular. And if we compare, this common misunderstanding that they say in Contact there's so many school kids, and there's so many young person who spend their time for contacting. No, actually, 25, 44 years old persons who has account in Vkontakte is the target audience. So if, like for example, if you go to work in any company and you decide to promote your company in social networks for the Russian audience, Vkontakte is a great choice. As for Facebook, well, if you are oriented to those persons who are Western oriented or who visit Europe or United States frequently, that's a great choice. Одноклассники, even though they have, well, according to this data, they have many accounts of users in the age of 25 or 34. Like frankly speaking, that's the main active users in the age of like 35 to 50. That's the core. That's for my mirror. I don't know. Yandex, ya.ru, this Yandex.ru is also not successful social network project. It doesn't work anymore. As for the gender, yeah, let me check this statistic. And in Vkontakte and in Vkontakte, Facebook is almost the same, both men and women. But in Одноклассники, they're more like women than men, because there is a joke that Одноклассники is housewife social network. Yeah, Facebook with Vkontakte. Vkontakte is more popular in Russia, it's a fact, but Facebook now has been growing its popularity. Well, one of the main reasons because of the illegal content that you will find in Vkontakte, and the other reason, well, I heard it personally many times that many people say we're sick and tired of how people communicate in Vkontakte. There's so many harsh words, there's so many spam, so we better turn to Facebook. As you probably know, Mark Zuckerberg visited Russia last year, and he met with Medvedev and said that Russia is a very attractive market for us. Many Russian companies, they promote via Facebook. And if I'm not mistaken, Russian companies spend like $5 billion every year to pay for advertisement in Facebook. So like for Facebook, Russian market is very, very big supply. And so for Vkontakte, well, now they have strict laws if you try to download any illegal content. So well, we will see. Nevertheless, Vkontakte is more popular in Russia than Facebook. If we compare Vkontakte and Одноклассники to main Russian social networks, yeah, that's for Одноклассники, blue for Vkontakte. These two regions where one social network is popular than the other. So in Far East, in South, and in Ural region, and South, of course, Одноклассники is popular. Vkontakte is more popular in Europe, out of Russia. In Moscow, popular Facebook. Facebook is very popular. It's in Moscow. No, Facebook is popular. Moscow has, well, of course, the large number of users, and it goes St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, Novgorod, Novosibirsk, Kazakhstan. So because Ekaterinburg is supposed to be the third capital, like there is one on the third place. That's interesting, however, how audiences in Russia visit any social network. Well, this phenomenon is called cross-visiting. So you see that Vkontakte and Одноклассники cross more frequently than, like, for example, Facebook and Vkontakte, because Facebook audience is not the same as Vkontakte. In Facebook, I do not consider them this snobbish, but nevertheless, in Facebook, it's more for professionals, for politicians, for hipsters or West-oriented persons. No, like seriously. And so for Contact, it's more like talking ground. But nevertheless, it's only 3.8 persons who cross with Contact and Facebook. And so it's another, it's a percentage of active users who visited both social networks in the same way actively every month. So it's not so many of them. Yeah, just give an example. Well, you guys students of Core 4, right? We promote the Euro Mining University. And we have a Facebook page for Euro Mining University, and we have a group in Contact. So the way how people communicate on Facebook and in Contact, it's much, much different. I would say it's absolutely different. In Facebook, it's more polite, it's more logic, and people there in the age of 25 and larger. In Contact, it's more serious. So, hey bro, come on, what's up? Yeah, but nevertheless, it works. So, short brief for every social network.